should feel a stretch through the glutes here, and through your hips, loosening those areas up. And this is important because a lot of you guys sit in school all day and now you're sitting at home all day. What you do is you sit in a position that's called 90 degrees of hip flexion, which is when you're sitting like this all the time. These muscles get tight, and what happens is they can restrict your movement. So loosening those up is very important, especially in football. Everything's through the hips, so to get those areas loose, very important. So you do that. Next one, you make sure you do both sides. You do this side here. You want to go maybe about 10 seconds or so, and then you're going to flip it and hit this side here. Same thing. Just kind of about 10 seconds or so, 15 seconds, kind of rocking forward a little bit, driving those knees into the ground. The next one you're going to do is what we call an ad rock. So ad up. So you're going to stretch out your head, your muscles right in. This leg straight. There. Just going to kind of come forward and back. You can see it from the side angle. What we won't want to do is you don't want to round your back. Keep your back straight here. This leg has to stay straight, just like Dom's is there. Keeping your body straight, keeping that foot to the ground. You're just gently rocking forward, keeping my back straight, not rounding like this. I'm rocking back and forth. You feel that? Do about 10 of those each side. If you want to shorten it up a little bit, you can even do just 5 a side. If you want to shorten it up a little bit, condense things a little. So then you'll get those. Let's see if I left anything out here. Head rods, head nod, 90-90. And then we'll start going through more of our dynamic warm-up stuff. Now, there's a couple other movements we would normally do at the gym, but those are band-assisted movements that you guys, I can't assume anyone's going to have any of that stuff. So we'll just skip through that and go right into the dynamic warm-up. Now, these are going to be very similar to what you guys do in football warm-ups. A lot of the same movements. We're going to start with what they call grass grabbers. Basically, you're going to be coming, stepping the foot out, walking yourself through like that. This is for your hamstrings. Take a step, the foot straight, scoop your hands through like you're grabbing the grass. Get your body back up tall. Do this for maybe about 15 yards or so. Just like these guys are doing here. Get that foot right out in front. Stretch that up. And then what you'll do is you'll come back, you do your knee grab, same way. High knees. Key with these, this is going to stretch your glutes back here. Keep your body square. You come up, notice my body, my shoulders are square, hips are square, knees, everything is straight. We don't want to be twisting the body. We want to keep everything in proper alignment. Same way, you'll go back about 15 yards, then you'll do heel grabs. This is going to be stretching out your quads and some of your hip flexors. Same thing, keep everything straight. So when you pull this, you come here, this knee should be right next to the other one. You don't want to be pulling way out like this. Right next to the other one. Once again, everything in proper alignment. And what you don't want to do, guys, is you don't want to have wasted steps. You'll see this, we see this in football practice all the time. A guy would do a stretch, and then he'd walk another 5 yards and do another stretch. Go right into the next stretch. Here, right to there. For about, like I said, 10 to 15 yards at least. Get those legs loosened up. Then you can go right into, now we can start pulling out some of our more quicker movements here. We do the leg swings. So the tempo kind of picks up as you start to do more of the dynamic stretches. This is a hamstring stretch here. Hand to opposite toe. Once again, keep everything straight. Don't twist the body. Pick the legs up. Just like Dom and Devin are doing. Stretch those out. Same distance as before. Then you can go in here, then we'll start picking up the pace a little bit. So then we'll start going into a back pedal. You guys can go right into your back pedals, about 15 yards or so, sinking down, going back. The back pedals, these, the quicker pace dynamic warm-ups, you're gonna go back twice. The slower ones that we just did, just down maybe 10, 15 yards or so. Now these go down and back. So about 15 yards down, 15 yards back with those. Then you guys will do side shuffle, same way. You guys are gonna shuffle here. Keep yourself low. Once again, everything's square. Keep everything square. Shoulders shoulders, hips, knees should be square. Keep your feet square too. A lot of guys will open up here. Keep your feet square. Everything in line. Hips, shoulders, ankles, knees, everything stays straight in alignment. We do a karaoke, you guys all know that. The only change that we really focus on with you guys doing these is we really try and focus on bringing this leg over to get that big hip movement. So we really try and get our guys to drive that knee over the other knee. It'll create a lot of hip movement and really loosen up the hips. Very important for your lateral movement. Change direction stuff you guys do. So then from there, we go in. We always usually start with speed work. So that's usually what we do next after we get our warm-ups going and our stretches. So I'm not going to have you guys do these at 100% the way we would at the gym that we do with our athletes. We're going to go a little bit, about 75%, because we're not there to actually able to supervise you guys and see what you're doing correctly. So what you're going to do, set up, you're going to do start and stop. You're basically going to sprint 10 yards, walk about, quick stop, walk a couple yards, and then sprint again for another 10 yards. So you want to show them how that would work? Go ahead, down. Go ahead, sprint. Quick stop, sprint again. 10 yards. And then you'll walk your way back. That's your recovery period, is the walking back. And then you'll start again. You'll go 6 times through. Okay? What this does is, what your start and stops is we're working on a quick stop too. Like I said, we normally would do it at 100%, going all out, or at least 90. We're gonna have you guys go about 75% speed. But what it's gonna do, that quick stop, is gonna work on teaching your body the connective tissue around your knees and joints. It's trying strengthening that, getting your body used to those quick start and stops, getting the connective tissue and the muscles used to that start and stop. If you ever watch any of the games and guys get ACL injuries or tears, a lot of them are non-contact injuries when they're cutting and planting. So by focusing on our quick start and stops and practicing that, not only are we working on your speed, but we're also working on strengthening those muscles around the knee joint there by doing those start and stop quickly. Getting your body used to those quick stops that you'll be doing in a game. So you go 6 times through with those. And from there, then we'll start to go into some of our more explosive type work. Now you guys aren't going to have med balls or things that we would use for explosive plyometric type movements, so it's going to be more just body weight. So what you're going to start with, you're going to do broad jumps. Dom, I know you've done these. Devin, I'm sure, has done them too. You guys have both done athletic training before, so you're going to go about 10 yards with your broad jumps. You guys are looking for horizontal distance, how far you can go outward. Not as much vertical, you're both going more distance horizontally. One thing you want to focus on, stick what they call stick the landing. You want that landing to look just like your start of your jump. So if I'm starting with my feet here, I don't want to be landing here. If I'm starting here, my jump should be exactly the same. It should be the exact same position. And that's basically teaching your body how to jump and land correctly is what we're working on with that too. So you guys are going to go about 10 yards, and then you'll come back, and then you guys are going to go into your planks. You guys want to show them how we do planks? I'm sure you guys have all probably done these in some sport before or at school. So now you're going to keep the arms straight there. You don't want to have this, arms like this actually. You rotate them in, internally rotate your shoulder. That can put stress on your shoulder joint. We're going to keep the arms straight there. So what you want to do is you want to try and keep a straight line from your head all the way to your heels, okay? You're trying to keep the glutes tight, try and draw your abs up to your spine. That's what we're working on. And hold that as long as you can. If you can go 30 seconds, that's great. You can go up to 45, even better. You don't want to hold your breath though. Keep focusing on your breathing. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, okay? Keep your glutes tight, your abs tight. This is all for your body's core development. And that's important for total body stabilization and body control. So, if you can't do a plank, you can start with a push-up hold. Just coming right here, holding in a push-up position, same way. That's kind of what we call an exercise regression, where you go back. If you can't do a plank, we'll regress back to starting with a push-up hold instead. So then you do that, and then you're going to go to hip lifts. And that's just basically same as what you would do with like a glute bridge. Just laying back. You want to have your knees bent, heels on the ground, toes up. Just driving straight through the glutes. You want to make sure when you do these, you want to go about 10 of these. Focus on really squeezing the glutes, not just thrusting your hips in the air. And this is an important exercise because the glutes that you're working there, particularly the gluteus maximus, that's the most important muscle that you have. The biggest, largest muscle, and strongest muscle in the body. Probably the most important muscle for football because that's all unlocking your hips. Any of your movements you do for sinking to tackle, breaking down to block, getting leverage, all involves movement at the hips and all through your glutes. And with a lot of these guys having tight hips, it makes it harder for the glutes to work. So really focus on squeezing those glutes. It's going to teach your body how to act, really what they call recruit or use those muscles in the glutes correctly. And you guys, once you learn that, able to unlock your hips better, you're going to be that much better of a player. So you're going to do those, the broad jumps, 10 yards down and back, planks or push-up holds for 30, 45 seconds, and then those hip lifts, 10 of those. Then you'll go back through. You're going to go 3 times through, okay? So after you do one set of each of them, you'll rest about a minute, minute and a half, and then you'll go back through, okay? What you'll go after to that, I apologize, I have these all written down. Now you guys are going to go to some jump squats. I'll show them how you do a jump squat. So this is an explosive movement. So with power stuff, less is best. Quality over quantity always. Power movements can be pretty taxing on the body, so we're going to go lower reps. We're focusing on more explosive movements. You guys are just sinking down and jumping straight up, trying to get vertical distance up. So same thing with those, but you want to make sure you stick that landing. So you jump all the way up, get that height, you stick the landing. Coming straight up, you get that landing, sticking it down. Just like that, just nice, good. Have a good base, but feet should probably be about shoulder width, maybe a little wider. Coming to here, or your feet are way out there, and you're not sticking the landing right. So focus on getting the height and sticking the landing. Remember, the start and the stop, the start of the jump and the landing should look the same. That's what you want to work on. So you're teaching your body not just how to be more explosive, but we're teaching your body how to do it correctly, how to jump correctly, and how to land correctly. So you do just 5 of those. Get yourself set each time you do it. So when you jump up, jump, come down, get yourself set, jump again. Then get yourself set, gather yourself. Focus on each individual rep. It's very important. Then we're going to do the dead bug. That's the ab exercise. This is the one where you're going to basically, this is working not just your abdominal midsection, but and mainly most of the movements we do for the abdominals are more for core and trunk stabilization. And that's what we're using 90% of the time. Not really doing the movement where you do a sit-up. The abs do that, but it's not usually their primary role. The primary role is stabilization. But we do a little bit of that type of work here, where you're going to come up, like almost in a sit-up, because we do this in what they call a dead bug. And one of the reasons we do this is because we alternate. This is good for muscular coordination. So, hand to opposite foot. You're going to go 10 aside. So when you come up, your shoulders have to come up off the ground, driving the legs up, touching to the toes. You want to basically focus on almost like meeting in the middle. So the body should come all the way up, all the way back down, and then back up. So you're going to have the hands come all the way down over your head, guys. Back up. Yep. So you do 10 for each leg. You alternate each time. And then you guys will go from here. You're going to go into push-ups. Okay? So these here, just your regular basic push-up here. Everything should be, once again, proper alignment. Have your hands, elbows, and shoulders all in line. Your shoulders should be stacked right underneath your hands. You're just going to come down to the ground and drive straight up, okay? Keeping everything straight. Once again, not only is this working your chest and shoulders, but a push-up is going to work your entire core. See how down is straight, body straight there. Just come down, Now, if you're having trouble doing those, you can always go to something like this. If you want to follow me, Coach Roman, over here. You can't do it when we go to the gym. If people can't do a regular push-up in good form, what we'll do is we'll find something on an incline you can do them on. Or just at the park here, you can grab an incline bench. And now this is a regression. If you can't do the regular push-ups, you do what we call, once again, like with the other exercise, a regression, where you go back and you're doing them here. So the higher the incline, the easier it's going to be. As it gets more challenging, you're going to lower it back down to where a normal push-up would be. So if you can't do a regular push-up in good form, keeping everything straight in a straight line and keeping your core tight, you're going to start trying to do them. You can do it like on the steps at your house, any steps that you can use. You know, maybe go on the second or third step or a bench, something like this, and that's where you do them on. And until you get stronger, then you can start going lower the level back down. So it's the same thing. You want to go about 10 of the push-ups, but always quality over quantity. You can't do 10 good ones, 5 really good ones are better than 10 poor ones. So focus on the quality. So the jump squats, you do 5, go right into those dead bugs, 10 each leg, and then the push-ups, you do about 10 aside. So go 3 times through that, and then you're going to go here, the last of the strength stuff, you're going to finish with another, is what we call a tricep. That's why we're doing the 3 of them in a row. You're going to start with an unbalanced carry. Let's grab these dumbbells over here. So if you guys don't have weights at home, this is fine. You guys can find stuff around the house. You can even find like cans of soup or something around the house. I even have had people use, grab like a little jug of laundry detergent or something. One a little bit heavier, one a little bit lighter. You're gonna walk for about 15 yards and then down and back. What you're doing is you're gonna keep the lighter one up. You're gonna grab one item around your house, maybe that's a little bit heavier. Say if you have a can of soup in one hand and a jug of laundry detergent in the other, you're going to be walking like this, like Dom is, keeping everything straight. Everything here stays straight, core stays straight. This is for all your core stabilization, to work on your shoulder strength, your shoulder stabilization, your whole trunk stability, your whole body control. That's what we're working on. Teaching you guys how to control your bodies. So you'll do that. And then you guys are going to go, basically, for this one here, once you do that, about 15 yards, you'll switch the arms though when you go back. So if you've got the lighter one on the right coming down, go 15 yards, switch to the other hand, have the lighter one be in the left hand, walk back with the other 15 yards that way. After that, you guys are going to go into a toe touch movement here. So this is basically, you're coming down here, coming down your toe, like you're touching your toes. You're going to sink down here at your waist, bring your arm up, another arm up, and drive yourself straight up. That's what you're doing. It's almost like a modification of a squat. A lot of people do this as a corrective exercise, but it can be a strength exercise too. You just come straight down to touch your toes, keeping your back straight, sink down at your hips, chest out, one arm up, other arm up, and then squat right back up. And then we're going to do 10 of those, okay? Key with that one, when you guys come down, touch down your toes, sink the butt down, notice my back is straight. You don't want to round like this. Arm up, drive yourself back up. Drive through the legs, okay? So then you'll do 10 of those. And then what we'll do is, put that dumbbell go down. This is another one that you're going to have to find something around the house to do. You can do a row. Okay. This is basically going to be just a one-arm dumbbell row exercise. You're going to bend over at your waist. You're going to row this straight up. So once again, you just find anything around your house to do this with. This is going to be a back exercise, pulling movement here. You can use a gallon of jug of water, a gallon of milk, fill it up with water. You can use laundry detergent, anything around your house. You can gotta get creative. And what you're just doing is you're bending over at your waist here, have one knee here, or you can lean forward onto something like a bench or something, or your bed, and you're just going to be rowing straight up. This is basically a motion almost like you're sawing wood. So I would lean forward, I would have my hands supported on like a chair or a bed or a table or something, leaning forward at the waist, get a good base, feet right about a little wider than shoulder width, and you're gonna pull straight back. You're driving this elbow straight back up, squeezing that shoulder blade in. You're gonna go for 10 each side. You wanna be feeling that in the muscles in the mid-back, what they call your scapular retractors. Squeeze that in, let that stretch, squeeze it in. Keep everything straight though. Once again, everything in alignment. You don't want to twist the body, okay? So then, once you do those, you're gonna go back through once, take about a minute, minute and a half. Once again, go back through 3 times through. And then that's it for the strength training part, okay? So what you'll do from there, we're just gonna finish with a little bit of conditioning stuff, okay? You guys are gonna do what's called tempo runs here. This is basically what you're doing is you're basically going at a certain speed, and then you're gonna slow down and you're gonna go faster again. Kind of similar to what we did with the start and stops. Basically, you're gonna go 3 times through. You would start, we're gonna start with 20 yards. You guys are basically gonna go run for about 20 yards. Your recovery is going to be your walk for about 10 yards. Then you're going to sprint again for another 20 yards. So, and the sprint's about a 75% pace. So, and then you're just going to go right back in again. You're going to go 6 times through with these, okay? So it's a shorter conditioning stuff, but we're going to try and condense it a little bit for you. So basically you would sprint down for about 20 yards, and then your recovery is your walk in between for about 10 yards, and then sprint again for another 20. And then you go right back through and start again. So with minimal rest, maybe 15, 20 seconds, and you go right back through again. Because we're working on shorter recovery periods, minimal rest, because we're working more on your conditioning. Whereas with the speed stuff, we don't want you to be fatigued. We want you to be more fresh when you do that stuff, and that's why it's also at the beginning of the workout, and the conditioning is at the end. And that's then what you'll finish with, and that'll be your workout day 1.